Finding gold in Ulster is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Prospecting is a great incentive to get outdoors and explore rivers and backwaters across the province. There is, of course, no guarantee of success. However, to the determined planner, there are small deposits of gold to be found. Since the Iron Age, gold from the mountains of Mourne in the Ban system has been a source of wealth for many kings and chieftains of Ireland. To start with, a basic gold pan and trowel are needed, but it's never long before an assortment of useful tools is amassed. Second only to these highly fashionable chest waders, the best acquisition is definitely the sluice box. Using the sluice enables a much larger quantity of material to be processed than would be possible using just a gold pan. Gold is one of the heaviest elements and will invariably drop to the bottom of the material as it travels down a river bed. A sluice box replicates this natural process. As concentrates are fed into the flow, the heavier elements like iron, copper, lead, silver, tin, and of course gold get caught in the low pressure areas behind the riffles. Setting up the sluice correctly is a very important part of the whole process, and it is only through trial and error that the correct angle and flow can be gauged to ensure the best efficiency. It can be frustrating but ultimately very rewarding when the sluice box is working well. Once set up, I just need some likely looking areas to test. Areas of slack water or inside bends are best. Places where gold can drop out of the flow and get stuck. To begin with, the river washed overburden and heavy rocks need to be removed. There's no chance of finding gold in these. The remaining material is now classified to under 10mm using a garden riddle. During this stage, heavier gravels are washed and discarded, leaving the finer material for the sluice box. The classified material is now fed through the sluice to separate any heavier parts and wash the lighter stuff away. What is left behind is referred to as pay dirt, and any materials or gemstones will be in it. So it is essential that the pay dirt is collected carefully. Now comes the stage most popularly associated with the hunt for gold, the panning. It's time to slow down and exercise some patience. Gradually the light flowing sands are washed from the pan to leave the black sands and the metal elements behind. Hopefully you'll see what all gold panners want to see, the glimmer of raw gold. Unfortunately, gold hunting in Ulster is a different thing from the legendary gold rush regions like the Yukon, California, Western Australia or the Transvaal, and you won't need much help to pick it up. This little snuffer bottle though will collect those fine particles. After a hard summer's work, and thanks to the rivers of Ulster, I've hopefully gathered enough raw gold to have a ring made for my son James. Hi Ruth.
Hi Roy.
I have some gold for you.
Wow, look at that. Isn't that fabulous?
There's about 14 grams from Northern Ireland.
Northern Irish
I
gold.
would like you to make me a ring.
Okay, no problem. I think there's plenty in there to make a ring with.
Good job.
So our first process is to melt it down.
Okay.
Okay. So
And how many grams do you think it would be for a large men's ring?
I'm hoping about 7. Right Roy, I'm putting a little bit of flux into that gold just to help the gold bind together. So I'm going to have to be an octopus for this bit because I need to pour the gold in. So I'm going to put quite a bit of it into the crucible because I want it. You see the little ridge that's on there on the charcoal?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and fill as much of that as I can with this gold so we have a good bar to work with for the ring. It needs to be at a really pale blue flame to get enough heat to melt that. This is the gold that has come directly from the river, so it's in its raw form. I'm just heating it up now in the dish with some flux that will actually help to burn off impurities and help the gold to bond together and obviously make it as pure as it can be. The boiling point of this gold will be over 1000 degrees centigrade, and that will burn out base metals like copper and silver and things like that from the gold to put it into its purest form. I need it to be like almost, you know, proper liquid. Right, we got most of it.
Still quite a bit.
No, it'll do. I'm going to tip that last wee bit in, just so it joins on.
That'll stick, shouldn't it?
Can
you heat it in that? No.
That's too different. I'm loving the opportunity of working with Roy with this gold that has been panned in Northern Ireland, because that's a very special thing for me, that it's Northern Ireland orientated. So otherwise I would have to get my gold from England, and I'm loving every minute of it. Okay, Roy, there's your 2 gold nuggets from your powder that you gave me. A few wee bits of charcoal and flux on there, but
Lovely.
we'll clean those up after. And that wee one has wee bits of copper and silver along the top of it there. This is the stage before we start to flatten and hammer it out. Okay, Roy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this through the roller so that it flattens this metal for you. So, right from the start. The rolling mill is the piece of equipment that will actually flatten the metal for us and make it into like a flat sheet that we can use for making the ring. The rollers themselves are adjustable, so we can make the ring different thicknesses depending on people's preferences. So basically we just keep adjusting it until we get the level of flatness that we want. She's coming. This goes. That's coming on well, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, Roy, that is the ring so far, rolled so far. That's the sort of thickness that it is.
Will that reach right round?
It would do up to about that point.
Yeah, that should,
so,
be
yeah.
that should be fine. We keep it as big as we can.
Do you want it thinner than that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So Roy, it's 6.4
Okay.
in terms of width, and that's 1.1. These are like wee creme brulee torches. Coming up to put it into the pickling. Just which will take away all of the fire stain and the burn from when I was doing the torch.
That's an acid?
Yes, that's an acid.
Okay.
But it's a diluted acid in water. Okay, so I'm just going to get your gold piece of slither out of the pickling and put it into the water just to clean off the pickling so it doesn't go all over your fingers because it is an acid. So you can touch that straight away. It's cool enough. We'll dry it off, and then the next set or the next stage is to put it onto the ring mandrel to form it into a ring. We're just going to size up your finger. That's too big.
It looks okay.
Oh,
I'd say it's alright.
I'll try the one just below it then,
Set it won't go.
just to see.
With very delicate hands. Oh, that looks fine too.
That's too big.
It's too big.
Let's go this way and see. There's one. This will tell me what size of ring your finger is. You see, that's still.
No, that's fine.
Is that
That's
good?
fine. I haven't tried to be uncomfortable.
Right, there's a little letter on the side of that.
Why?
Why? What we're going to do next is we're going to form the initial shape of your ring. So I'm just going to bend it around this ring mandrel to get the ends together. Solder cannot fill a hole between two bits of gold, so the two bits have to be close enough together so that you can't see daylight through them. You do that by using your saw to cut a nice straight edge, and then you can actually go ahead and solder. The two bits should fit perfectly together. So I'm just putting flux on each side of the join so that the solder will run across it. We are actually using a gold solder. In this instance, this gold solder that we are using is 24 karat yellow gold, so that it will blend seamlessly across the join of the metals. I know most people normally would think that hammering on the ring mandrel will actually form the shape of the ring, but what it actually does is it hardens the ring. It's called actually work hardening, and it's to firm up the ring, make sure all the molecules are joining together, and to make the ring nice and hard for when you wear it. We work through lots of different papers that are all different grits. So I'll probably be starting at about a 500, going all the way up to maybe a 3600 for the initial part of the process. And it would normally take anything between 4 and 10 hours. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make all sides of the ring nice and smooth and level. And you can see there is where the join was, the solder join. So we're trying to rub this down so that you can't see that join. So we have to make the whole side of the whole wall of the ring one size. So you can see it's going away slowly but surely. It's very satisfying at this stage of the process to see the little imperfections being polished out of the precious metal using the Dremel. So I can actually look at a little indentation and in a few seconds it's gone and it's lovely and smooth and shiny. So I love this part of the process. So this part of the process is when we tumble the ring. So the ingredients are steel shot, barrel bright and mixed with water. And then that will tumble on the little tumbling machine for a good couple of hours before I will finish off the final polishing process. So this needs to be dry to go under the machine or it won't spin. After tumbling, I will then take the ring back to my Dremel, where I will use a very fine burr to do the final polish and get some of the dimples from the steel shot out of the ring. So it should be immaculate.